Hello,
Yeah. Hi.
welcome to FMUF.
Thanks.
This is a pilot episode of
It
FMUF.
is. Yeah. Are we actually
Uh,
going to explain what this is, or are
no.
we just going to... No, okay.
I don't think so. I mean, when you watch a TV show, the pilot show
Yeah.
of a TV show, it's normally just like any other day. It's not really. So I think that's how we should play it.
Cool. Yeah. That's... Yeah. No, that's fine. This is just normal. I know what you're about. We know exactly what we're doing. Yeah. Professional.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. This was just us talking.
Yeah. Slow turn to camera. Oh, hi. Meet me at camera 2, guys.
So I think we had a game plan, sort of.
We did.
We were going to talk about. However, I wanted to start you off by asking you a question.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a surprise. This is a question I did not pre-warn you about. But I would like you to tell me why the act of selling OC biscuits at a LARP is the worst crime that can be committed in the 21st century.
Okay, we're doing this. All right, cool. Well, you see, Charles. Blatantly, when one is selling biscuits at a make-believe game where a bunch of nerds are running around in the middle of the field just having fun and getting drunk and talking to their friends and trying to have a good time.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
It is crucial that every single item on that field must suddenly be completely medieval appropriate. All of your clothing, you must have shot the sheep in the face with an arrow yourself, snapped it out of their still wriggling body, skinned it alive, and then wafted and just weaved all of your outfit out of this one fucking sheep.
I feel like we're getting off topic from the biscuits here.
And bringing it back to biscuits, it is the same with the produce which you consume. If you have not sheared the wheat yourself and turned it in a mill for 52 days.
Wow.
And, I don't know, fucking cooked it on a charcoal fire, you are a hack fraud, clearly.
Never try and make biscuits, please. It's just wheat on a charcoal fire.
Wheat on a charcoal fire. That's all you're getting.
It's true. 3 rings for this charred wheat. This was an issue that people were very passionate about.
They were. I'm so... Okay, so background for those of you who aren't quite as up-to-date on the trash fire that can sometimes be the LARP community online. Post-Empire, some lovely guy, I'm assuming it was a guy, which I'm aware might get me in trouble.
No, I think it was.
It probably was. Decided to post on one of the Empire groups that
he was shook.
He was shooketh that a child had come up to him in character and sold him Maryland shop-bought cookies for in-character money.
Oh.
Now,
how much did that in-character money cost him, Ella?
Exactly. I think it must have cost him part of his soul, because I want you all to just like marinate in this a minute.
Yeah.
Just let it really sink in that this man was cross at a child for selling him biscuits for money, which isn't actually even real money. He basically got free fucking biscuits and he's mad about it.
Well, I was not expecting this much of a response, but I'm glad I asked.
I have so many emotions about this because, like, okay, you can be whiny and miserable at adults, fine, but do not bring kids into this.
True. I mean,
do not bring them into this.
It's no word of a lie that I spent a lot of my in-character money at Empire, the most recent Empire. E2.
You did.
E1.
Don't
I spent a lot of my in-character money on sweet things. So either whether that be cinnamon rolls or brownies or probably some other biscuits. I think.
Blackjacks.
And in the previous events, the only thing I've really spent money on was like jelly beans and stuff. And I do think that if Sketch, the in-character name, one of the lovely people that sold me those cinnamon rolls, if he did then turn around and tell me they were shop bought, I would stab him in the face.
Yeah, you just straight up stab.
Because he looked me in the eye and told me that his lovely wife Kisa back home in Varushka made those cinnamon rolls, and if I felt he'd lied to me,
you would have stabbed him.
But I have bought jelly beans from a child, and I'm not going to suddenly turn around and throw them in that kid's face because he did not, I don't know, like you said, to get the sugarcane himself and distill it and put it on a charcoal fire until it turns into jelly beans.
Invent jelly beans. Simply invent an in-character way to make jelly beans at the age of 7. Why aren't you curing cancer? What the fuck?
I was happy because I was in a field and I stank and I was tired and there were some kids selling jelly beans. That's all I cared about.
And not just selling jelly beans, but selling jelly beans for fake money that isn't even like your student loan, It's
like, sure, you do pay for a ticket and that gives you an entitlement of money, but it's still free. You can use that money to buy beer and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was very much something that well, it kind of shook me about Empire actually when I first heard about it. Ooh. Because throughout my experience with LARPing thus far at that point, I hadn't ever heard of people actually sort of using IC currency for actual commodities.
No, really?
No, not at all. So when I heard that at Empire you could literally buy, there was a store at which you could buy things, like actual tangible things for in-character cash.
Yeah.
And I saw the coins and I just, part of my brain couldn't really compute it. Until I was there.
Yeah, some guy approached me selling like leather pouches and stuff for character gold, and I was like, wow. I mean, I knew alcohol and sweets and stuff. The cake economy of Empire, but I didn't realize people were selling legit goods and services, things like that.
Yeah, it's not just like the pouches either. There were a couple lovely Navari folk. Ugh. Shut up, Wintermarker. Jeez. He's salty because he's not one of the best nation, which is Navarre, which is what I am. But yes, yeah, you suck it up, son. But yeah, these lovely Navari lads were walking around selling like homeopathy, sort of vigors and things. And
wow.
They were like full on tiny vials of oils and sort of, like massage things, I think was one of them, and just like nice smelling stuff.
But did they make them from scratch themselves with things that they harvested themselves?
I think they were one of the hack frauds.
The scoundrels.
How dare they?
Kick them out, ban them.
Yeah.
Burn them on a pyre.
Burn them like the marchers burn their effigies.
Exactly.
Oh, Charles, sometimes this community, I despair.
It's true. Well, okay, well. That stirred up the hornet's nest more than I thought it would. There you go. That is one of the many gates that has come up in recent times.
Indeed. But I feel like it is important to sort of point out that whilst there are people in the LARP community who start crap, such as the people who started the cookie shenanigans, Biscuit Gate.
Yes, Biscuit Gate.
2K18. There we go.
381.
381, yeah, year 381, as is Empire year conventions. Whilst there are people like that, and whilst they can be very vocal and kind of scary and really annoying, it is important to point out that they are the bottom of the trash pile, and they just happen to be really loud.
Wow, you're really calling this guy out.
I'm so cross at him. I'm so cross. I'm so glad I don't know him.
So what you're saying is, we didn't start the fire.
Yeah, exactly.
It was always burning. Since the world was turning.
Yes, since the LARP world was turning, the people at the bottom of the trash pile just sort of trying to kick their stupid little embers up to where we're chilling.
It's just consequence of using social media a lot.
Exactly.
Is that people obviously be keyboard warriors, as it were?
It is. So what I'm trying to say is just people who are sort of trying to get into LARPing or new to it, don't look at these people. No, that's the opposite of what I'm saying. Don't look at these people and be intimidated because they're easy to avoid. You don't actually have to talk to any of them, I see.
They're a vocal minority.
They are a very vocal minority. So just know that whilst there are these people stirring up the shit hive, most of the people on your friends list, the people who you actually want to be interacting with, which is a good 89% or so of the LARP community, will be the pure gems of people taking the piss of them, and it will make your day. So just don't be afraid of them, because they're assholes.
It's true.
Yeah. Just a quick PSA there from from
Hashtag
your local LARP.
Not all LARPers.
Hashtag not all LARPers. Blimey.
Yeah. Wow, okay then.
Real truths!
Yeah.
Fucking tea.
Spitting some real fire truths there.
Yeah, I'm just here sipping my tea. My true tea. Boy.
Got a big old stein filled with squash. I'm on the hard stuff.
Oh shit! You better slow down, there, buddy.
What is this squash? It is.
Is it Ribena?
Hashtag sponsored. Juicy.
Juicy.
From Iceland.
Oh well, it's not Ribena though, is it?
No.
Well.
But they changed the recipe for Ribena recently, so.
I know.
That's another point of contention that we should not get into.
No, let's not. Then we'll really get some. We'll get banned from our own podcast, man.
That's pouring like white spirit on the fire. That is.
It really is. Yeah, it's good times. Good times.
On that sort of vein, though, the LARP vein. I mean, it wasn't explicitly stated that we were going to talk about LARP. We're going to talk about LARP.
Oh yeah, there we go. If you hadn't already gathered.
Yeah. But yeah, we both had pretty different ways of getting into LARP, and then different experiences as a result of that. Did you wanna start and talk about how you got into it and what you found as a result of that?
Yeah, sure. So my experience getting into LARP is probably something that has become more conventional as of the past few years. How I got into it was I actually started cosplaying. I went to a convention about 2016. It was lovely anime convention, Anime League. 2K16 was great. Yeah, my first ever convention, baby's first convention, little nerdlet, tiny nerd Ella, wide-eyed and clutching her ticket. Yeah, ran
What were you cosplaying as?
That day, I believe I was a ninja.
A ninja?
For banter, and I didn't have any other costumes.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'd worn my Hetalia cosplay raving the night before, so that was in no state to be seen by anybody ever.
Yeah,
that was.
It's hot at those Comic Cons.
Oh god, it so is, especially when you're at the rave until they turn the lights on at 4 a.m. and then you look down.
You did the clubbing after.
I did.
The con. All right.
Oh, it was something. And given that I had worn my coat and my cape for Femme France the entire day and evening, and refused to take it off, even though the rave was so blooming hot. Yeah, it was a disaster.
Wow.
Yes. So there was that, and we walked in, and we were actually at this convention primarily to see a group called Parlay Productions, because we freaking love them, me and my friends. So we were like, okay, cool. They're doing this panel in like an hour. Do you want to go? And it was about something called LARP. Yeah, none of my friends, neither me or the person I'd gone with, had ever heard of what this term was before.
Wait, you've not even heard of it before?
No, we had no idea. Yeah. I'd seen it in passing, like this chick called Momo O'Brien on YouTube or whatever, did a video on it. I don't know, I skipped past it. So we rocked up to this panel, and we just half an hour in, we just turned to each other and were fucking hooked.
Just true.
Yeah, we were shown PowerPoints of photos and told about the different types of game you can go to and the kit standards, and just seeing the amount of excitement and keen that the people leading this panel had about these games. We were just like, we need to get involved. So the second the panel ended, what we ended up doing was I went back to the room and just went straight on Google.
Nice.
And from there, it's just spiraled out of control. Really.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm now a year and a half or so into it.
Wow.
Yeah, practically a vet. But yeah, what about yourself?
I mean, mine's not as interesting. I probably should have gone first. I was just chilling. I'll go back a little bit more. I'll give a little bit more context to stretch the story out a little bit.
We want a middle, beginning, and ending.
Yeah.
Freaking dress it up, dude.
So first year of university, I'd heard of Dungeons and Dragons. We'll go back even further. I've heard Dungeons and Dragons. And so I'd always wanted to try it, but I didn't know where to start. Didn't know what it was. It seems too complicated. I knew video games. It did everything for you. But then, so I came across things like High Rollers and Critical Role and stuff, which through watching that, I slowly got to grips with the rules and things like And then found out it was D&D 5e and all such and such. So eventually I got a group of friends together at university first year. And I was like, I don't know how any of this works. I don't have any of the books. I haven't got any money. But we could try it. And so we found PDFs online. And we were actually playing like 3.5e. And that's how I got into like role-playing as such. I was the DM. Really enjoyed it. It was amazing. Then it became my life for like 2 years playing D&D. And then the next logical step from that was the live action role playing scene, and I didn't know I knew that was a thing. I'd seen it in TV shows and movies and knew it had a very nerdy stigma about it, but since I assumed there was also a stigma around D&D, I didn't really care. I was at this point in too deep. And so I messaged my best mate Sam, and I said to him, "Hey, how's it going?
Was this the exact message?
Hope you slept well."
Was this the exact message, Charles?
I could find it, but it's a long time ago. I'll find it next time. Okay. Yeah, I was like, hope you're doing well. How's the missus? Oh, by the way, there's this thing called LARPing that we should totally do. And Sam is he's big into armor and stuff like that. He's big into tanks and then as an extension, plate mail and such. And so he was sold from the second. I had no idea, but he was just like, yeah, I've been considering it too. And I was like, oh, okay then. So I had a little Google around. And then at that time was when Tabletop Weekly had started posting their videos on their experience at Empire. And this was just the first result that came up from YouTubing LARP and Googling LARP. So watched those and I was like, oh wow, this is actually really cool. Well, cool relative to them. Cool to me.
Yeah.
And so then pretty much that day, I think, I was like, all right, screw it, let's just buy tickets to the next event, which was in like a month's time, day after my birthday, why not? Went along and sort of posted on the Facebook groups saying, have no idea what I'm doing, but I would like to give it a go. And a group picked us up, said we'll take you under the wing, show us the ropes, and the rest is history. I'm now started last June. It's now May, so almost a year.
Aww.
Yeah, the next event shall be my year anniversary as well as my 21st birthday, which will be pretty cool.
Oh,
yeah,
love that. Yeah, mine was at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
my year anniversary, Future's End, the superhero LARP. Yeah,
sweet.
Oh. Where it all began.
And where it shall all end.
Oh no, don't say that. Don't say that. Character death is looming.
Oh dear, yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. Both of us have escaped so far with no character deaths.
Mm-hmm. This is true, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't really fear it as much as I used to. No, other way around. I fear it more than I used to. I didn't used to fear it.
Oh, really?
When I started with Empire,
yeah.
I didn't really. I don't know. It was weird because I created really in-depth characters for Dungeons and Dragons before, you know, with like pages of backstory and a lot of quirks and things like that. But then when it came to LARP, I guess I was just quite nervous. I'm not an extremely confident person, or I was less so before, and so my character was very much just an Empire version of myself. And the thing is with Empire, since the kit is quite transferable between different characters because it's based upon the nation you're in. It also means if you die, then you can just come back as yourself with a different name if you're copping out, which I was going to. And so Empire, when I was playing, I was like, if I die, I'll just come back as, well, I'll wear the same tunic and I'll call myself Brynjar instead of Regan. It'll be fine. However, now that I've played it more and I've gotten into the character more and I've developed them, and then now also going to Future's End, where the characters that you make are very personal and unique. And also the kit cannot be transferred.
No.
And money is still an issue, and so that is still an issue. It means that I am now terrified of character death. Although it is amazing roleplay, and an amazing experience if it's done right, I am also pretty scared still.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair enough.
Yeah.
It is funny, sort of like you say, depends on what system you go to.
Definitely.
Like, yeah, so with Empire, there isn't, because it's such a big field, there isn't much in the way of personal anything. It's very much what you get out of it. What you get out of it is what you put in. So if you do make a character with shite tons of backstory and like trauma up the wazoo and 17 layers of riddled craziness, and you sort of put that into game with your IC interactions, then that's great. However, if you do want to just sort of ghost and say, oh, my name's fucking
Smeller.
Lelnar or some shit, yeah. And then you die and you don't care and you just come back, that's absolutely fine. You can do that. You can sort of just be along for the ride.
It's kind of anyone's game at Empire. You can play it how you want.
Exactly. Cool. Whereas at Future's End, it's very much sort of you think about your character before you go in, you set up your kit, you hand in your backstory, and the plot team will actually take that backstory and make in-game things out of it.
God, I'm terrified of this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so scared.
Yeah. Future's End is a beautiful, beautiful system for finding out how much the plot team can fuck with you.
True, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, my God. It's great.
Well, it's probably, I'd say... I don't know, it's not too controversial. I'd say that Future's End and Empire are probably as far from opposite as you could get on systems.
Oh yeah, I'd agree.
I mean, Future's End is still a big system. It costs a big LARP. However, it is far smaller. It's probably about a 10th of the size. And each character is absolutely unique. Sure, they're bound by 2 different factions. However, the kit standards beyond one's clean and showers and the other one's really dirty is not really that limiting. And so each character is completely unique.
Yes.
And comes from different all walks of life. At Empire, it's sort of like you're all bound by one nation and therefore their kit rules. And to the point where if you wear a hat that could be potentially classified as from a different nation, you get #Hatgate. Just going back to our previous conversation, that the LARP community can be very passionate. But yeah, enough on that.
Yeah.
So they're completely opposite, but I absolutely love them both.
Yes, absolutely.
I will not be as so controversial as to say which one is my favourite.
Ooh, well, steady on that. Yeah, I will.
Don't want to sever any ties.
Totally. I will absolutely have to say though that Future's End is my bias system. Yeah, it was my first ever one.
Here I was trying to be like impartial.
Nah, we don't diplomats here. Fuck that. Fuck it. What other swear words? Yeah, I will completely unequivocally say that Future's End was the system I started out with as a baby LARPer. They looked after me.
Babby.
As a small babby nerd with no idea what she was doing and a character that was a complete and total mess.
What's changed in any of those descriptors?
Just nothing at all. Except that now I'm a mess on purpose because it's kind of just become my thing.
It's good fun though.
Oh, it's super fun. But yeah, I will say if you are new to LARP, Future's End is a blooming good bet because the community is just so lovely and it really is a field family. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never had more love for a group of people. Lovely lot. Lovely, lovely lot. Yeah.
Are you crying?
No. I apparently also have a cold, so I'll be sniffling a lot. I'm really sorry.
She has a cold.
I have a cold because Empire almost killed me.
Well, fine.
Yeah. Yeah,
the
Empire
mug
was great.
Up to your chin, to be fair.
It was. So I'm pretty short. This is kind of another thing that I am. For those of you who don't know. So yeah, the mud at Empire was prodigious. And
it was about
did almost
a foot
what
deep
I mean.
in places. At the worst places, it probably came to about a foot, I'd say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Should we tell them about the lovely river that decided to form as well?
Oh yeah. The site does not have the best drainage, and so in the new field that we were using, which was amazing for giving the nations more space, allowing for more thoroughfares and sort of like face tents for trading, also provided a lovely sort of valley-like system for a bank upstream to overflow and therefore produce a lovely river in the center of the lap, which is good. It's lovely.
Yep. You got to practice your IRL dexterity whilst jumping over a tiny river that had decided to spawn like a brand new challenge on an MMO.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was poetic.
Chainmail
is not very good for swimming.
No.
I'll tell you.
Yes. What have we learned? What have we learned about chainmail, Charles?
It's a.
What have we learned?
Fashion travesty. No, I love chainmail. There's nothing wrong with chainmail. Chainmail is the best. If I could wear chainmail every day, I would. And
what have we learned about our favourite thing?
That if I were to wear chainmail every day, I would die of hypothermia.
Yes, there we go. We've learned that it's a heat sink and that your friends lied to you and it's not an insulating layer.
I think I always knew deep down.
Yeah, you probably did, because it's hard to miss when you're wearing it and feeling literally every inch of heat leave your body. Ooh, oh dear. Fine.
The things we do.
The things we do. Just don't do what I did and sleep in it, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. New LARPers, if you're going to take anything away from this podcast at all, it's please, for the love of fuckery, do not sleep in your fucking chainmail. Ever.
Take a shit in it, though. It's good fun.
Taking a shit in it is, like, the most...
Make sure you, like, lift it up so you don't just poo through a sieve. But...
yeah. It's so dangerous, though.
It's a risky move, but
it's so risky. Time. It does, to be fair. Like, seriously, if you're a... Let's be honest here. If you're taking a shit in icy timing... You don't have time to take off your chainmail.
Things to do.
You have a to-do list the size of your leg, if you're anything like me. So, just do it. It's funny. And if you do fuck up, then it'll be an amusing story for later.
You'll have a lovely story for where there's a rusty patch.
Right on your butt.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. LARP shenanigans, man.
Definitely.
It's, yeah.
If a chainmail-clad warrior poos in the woods and there's no one around to see it,
then they'll probably tell their friends about it later.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
We're not a secretive bunch.
No, that's another thing. Campfire story time, and Facebook.
And alcohol.
Oh my goodness, there are no secrets. But yeah, that's another thing. Drinking culture, sort of at LARP, you don't have to take part in it either.
Oh,
that's
no,
important.
I mean, there is a big drinking culture,
it's
but
huge.
A lot of the time it's because you meet a lot. Well, people LARP from all across the country and other countries, especially at big fest LARPs. So you don't get to see everyone all that much, and so it's more of just a happy, hey, nice to see you, let's have a drink kind of thing. But yeah, like you said, it's you in no way have to take part.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
And if you're worried, or if you feel like, oh no, someone's handed me this thing, I guess I should better drink it. The best tip that I've ever received.
Bottle them.
Yes, exactly. There's violence, or there are 2 rules in which you can implement. One is the just say no, dude. It's fine.
Yeah.
Seriously, just say no. And then the other one is the glory of the NPC sip.
Yeah. I was gonna say pretend sip, but yeah.
Oh yeah, this is possibly
lovely mead. It's beer. Shut up.
Exactly.
I'm role playing.
Don't break my immersion. This is just the best tip I've ever received from a pro LARPer who's been doing it for about 5 years longer than me. She learned that I was going to be sort of NPCing a game. Like monstering a game as crew, and she was like, dude, if the players give you alcohol, they're looking to get you shit-faced. NPC sip, hold it up to your lips, mind like you took a huge gulp, don't actually ingest anything, and give it right back. Yep. It's all in the roleplay, because they can't say shit about it.
It's true.
Yep. And then you're completely cogent for when they try and drill you for information later.
It's a smart move, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's the players, they do like to get you drunk and fed so that A, you don't murder them, and B, you're more likely to give away the plot that you've been given.
Maybe I should crew.
Maybe you should.
So definitely tempting me. If I crew and someone has brownies or cinnamon rolls,
it's gone. That
then
plot is
I
out
will
there.
accept that as bribery, and the crew team will hate me. Why did you tell them the secret plan? Well, he had cinnamon rolls, so I have no defense against this.
I had to, exactly.
I got 15 hit points on each location, but he had cinnamon rolls. So.
Exactly. I mean, why would I murder when I can just eat?
I got nothing.
Exactly. Oh. It's good. Yeah. I would suggest crewing to literally anyone. It's a fantastic experience.
I'll do it eventually.
You will. It's good fun. It's sort of a low intensity, I would say low intensity, but low investment way to get involved.
Definitely.
It's funny sort of how different systems do it as well, because like for Empire, the one we were just at, they do have player monstering as a big part of the system. Yeah,
it's good, because since I think the total number was like 2,000 and something people, including crew, at the event. So, I don't know, 1,600 rough guess players. It means that they have an opportunity to have huge hundreds and hundreds versus hundreds and hundred battles, but they don't want to have 800 crew members to pay and feed there. So they have quite a good situation where there's 2 huge battles, and one of the days you'll play as your character and you'll be scared of dying, and it's all like, oh god, and you fight in your lines with your friends. It's all really dramatic and awesome. You're fighting against a horde of orcs, and then the second day you'll wake up bright and early in the morning, head down to the monster tent, get yourself a lovely sweaty smelly orc mask and some snaz on the face to cover the rest of the skin, and then you play against the players, and you're not scared because it's not your character, and you get to create up lovely orc personas, such as Droopy Bruce.
Such as Droopy Bruce.
My orc persona. And you get to shout at the players and scare them and potentially kill them.
And yes, get their best mate to stab the other player in the gut while she's trying to get out of a body crush. Charles.
See, here's the thing.
You douche.
I just pointed in the vague direction of the player characters and said, stab away. To this is Droopy Bruce. This was not Charles. And he said this to his lovely good friend Zug, with a nice spear, and on his own accord he stabbed, and I looked just to see him retracting a spear from your stomach.
Yeah, he did.
So I wouldn't say anything. I'd say it's just a series of coincidences.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. Freaking you shady mofo.
True.
Yeah, it was a good battle though. It was very good. Yes. And Monstering at Empire is good fun, because like Charles said, you get to create a persona as an orc, which is something I haven't really experienced before, where you have, like, you're not just a monster, you're a character.
Yeah. I've never done it before. This is the first event I've done it. It made it so much more enjoyable. We all did it, right? Because we all were part of an elite monster unit for an emu. And so it means we're always going to be fighting together, our in-character group. And so we all thought, all right, why not we just come up with orc names? So we got like Mr. Chops, we got Droopy Bruce, we got Snork Skin. Oh, there's loads of us. Forcan, I don't know. And it means we all just go around shouting at each other, and you have probably equally, if not more fun than the players do.
Yeah.
And then also when you're shouting at each other and you're role playing in front of the player characters and they see it, it makes them have a lot more fun, because you feel like you're not just people dressed in orc masks, you're actually orc characters coming together, and you're a bit more lively and personal. It's good.
Really did, yeah. That was something I very much noticed, because coming from a system like LT, where monstering is, well, it's less personal, I'd say. Because sort of when at LT, if you're bored, you're just like, oh, all right, I'm gonna go do some monstering, pop off down to the monster tent, get pointed at a brief, do that thing, go and hit the players for a bit, or go and talk shit at them. Get paid in XP or gold and leave. You don't have any sort of investment in it. There isn't. Whilst there are sort of monster slots for factions, there isn't the giant battle that Empire has.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Where you monster for that, and you sort of create a character, an orc character for that, where you go and harass the players. And you can bring them back the next time you go monstering as well, if you survive.
Yeah.
Or if you just feel like it.
Yeah, true.
And so it was interesting, sort of going into that environment from an LT perspective, Lorien Trust perspective, and sort of seeing how Empire did it, which is another fest LARP, same as Lorien Trust. And yeah, it was just, I can't speak to which one I'd prefer, because I think I'd have to do Empire another time before I make a decision.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting to sort of see how the different fests conducted their monstering. And yeah, I can definitively say that having been monstering and playing an Empire battle like that now, that you feel really immersed in the moment, and just being stood in your battle line with your friends and your faction leaders and commanders and such. Not faction, sorry, nation leaders and commanders and things. And you looking out on this giant field, and you see lines and lines of orcs staring you down and fucking chanting and waving their weapons and running at you. And you just, yeah, I
got very shouty.
You did.
I do. I'm not a very shouty person. And then the moment I put an orc mask on, the moment like I have any portion of my face covered, I am so vocal, like screaming at the place, like, "Oh, they're surrounding you! You should be running!"
Yeah.
I just get well into it.
I did hear you a few points in the battle. I didn't quite click that it was you until afterwards. But yeah, it is funny sort of how much you get into it when you see the reactions, you know?
Yeah, for sure. That's the best. It's when, even if you get a laugh out of the players, if you've done something silly, or you get like a fear in the glint in their eye.
Oh yeah.
That's what makes it worth it, and it makes you play it up even more. You know what to play on.
Ah, definitely, man.
Yeah.
It's just when you are being surrounded in the middle of the forest and you see like 20 orcs running at you in a punch unit through the trees.
Bumwee time.
Yeah, because it's just at that point in particular, it was me and about it's like 7 of our scouts sort of stuck in this tree line with a group of orcs, and we were just like with the Imperial orcs, sorry, who were player characters.
Woo.
And just we had an intense squeaky bum moment where we were being flanked on like 3 sides.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and there were not many of us. We could not get out of that situation if we'd fought. And it was just sort of a thing of looking at the orcish players, looking back at our scout command and going, fuck this, and sort of just trying to hack our way out.
Yeah.
Tooth and claw, stay alive. And yeah, it's just when you're genuinely fighting for your life, it's just you're in the moment. You don't even think about, oh, this is a game. You know, I've got to count my hits. I've got to worry about how many points I have left. You're just there trying to stay alive.
And it creates a lot of if you survive. I mean, if you die in that sort of fight, people are mourning. Like that's sort of amazing RP role player people who are sort of mourning people who were lost in that fight. You know, there were fights in like the military council about it and things like that. It was awesome. There's a lot of backlash from that, and the people that survived, such as yourself, congratulations. You get a lot of RP with it out of it as well, from the fact that you said you were fighting with the Imperial Orcs, and then after the fight, you obviously had a little moment where they were like, "Oh, thanks for fighting alongside us, and glad you're okay," sort of thing. Which is it's awesome.
It was ridiculously good. Sort of coming out of our camp, we were walking down the main thoroughfare to go and get some food because we were both fucking starving.
Yep.
And we both sort of turned to each other at the fire and gone, "Have you eaten today?" No, nope. Me neither.
I think I had an apple yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck, let's go and get something in our faces before we fall over.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were walking down the thoroughfare and we were just chatting to this guy sort of OC about the battle, and then these orcs came along and they started having just the most intense roleplay of
he just said, I can't remember
the
name, but he sort of turned to one of the orcs and he sort of asked, just said the name as a question, and
they all
just shook their heads.
Yeah.
And the guy, we were having this out of character conversation, and then he broke down, didn't he?
He did.
It was intense. And he was like crying, wailing into this orc's chest, and they were all sort of like doing their fists on chest sort of thing and ooting about it.
Yeah. It was because it was the Summer Storm, which is an orcish group that all got wiped out in the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just after that sort of conversation happened, they sort of turned to me and like, were you there? I was like, yeah, man. Thank you for sort of fighting alongside us, because we wouldn't have gotten out of that forest alive if it weren't for you guys. And I was genuinely sort of tearing up at this point.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I felt really awkward because I'd been monstering that fight. I killed some of these people, and I'm there still with some of the black snaz smushed across my face, just there desperately like licking my thumb and trying to rub it off, whilst you guys are having this really intense moment. And I'm there like, oh, this is really sad, but I killed them. So.
Yeah. But to be fair to you, the other guy had snaz on his face as well. I know, the guy that
was crying, and he was also doing it.
Yeah. Oh, it was amazing.
That's the thing, is like, it is a detachment from IC and OC, and you have to accept that yes, they did kill them, but it is obviously them. It was them monstering. It wasn't their character, and you can't hold a grudge or anything.
No, like, you know, it's gonna happen, man.
It's true.
Like, you go into a battle and you accept that social contract. If you are going into a fight, your character may not come out.
Exactly. We've in my group, we've actually been monstering a skirmish and killed other members of our group who were fighting in the skirmish, and it's sort of like it's a moment of OC out of character sort of bantering about it, and you feel bad, but at the same time, they should have been with the rest of the group. It's their fault.
Yeah, exactly. It's a sad moment, but
yeah.
You know, if you're a fighter character, if you're a combat character, you more than any other person on on the field in terms of skills and shenanigans, you know that you are in danger.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. You're going into a fight. That's the whole point.
You create a character with the explicit sort of like outcome of going into threats. You're going to find danger.
Yeah,
you're going to put yourself in danger for fun.
Yeah, there were moments in that big battle on the Sunday, because the brief that we'd been given as the monsters was that we were fighting as a barbarian orc nation called the Druge, which are basically just orcish dickheads. They are cruel, torturous, and they execute people and they're ruthless. And so I had this moment where I'm staring at this whole group of like 6 or 7 dying, bleeding out Imperial Orcs. And the Imperial Orcs, personally, I think they're amazing as a nation because they have such kit standards and the dedication to wear Orc masks pretty much 24/7 at Festlarp when it could be plus 30 degrees or minus 20 degrees or whatever. They stick out. Anyway, so I'm staring at them bleeding out and I'm there, OC feeling terrible. And I'm like, I just wish that I could be a good Druge who's like, come on guys, let's go, let's get you out of here. But I can't because it's against brief and I'd be told off for it.
Yep.
But boy, would that be amazing.
Yeah, it's very much a moment of, oh no, what have we done?
What have I done?
What have I done?
Because when I'm fighting, I'm just fighting them. I'm not thinking about it, and they were all cut off, and we're like, yeah, let's take them down. They're out of line. No one was supporting them. All I saw was the tactical opportunity to kill them.
Yep.
And then when they're then bleeding out afterwards, I'm like,
oh shit,
what have I done?
Got blood on my hands, man.
Who am I?
I'm a monster.
I'm Droopy Bruce, and then you get schizophrenia with Droopy Bruce.
Yeah, clearly, that's just what happens.
Yep. Don't do LARP, kids.
Clearly, it's a dangerous game, dude.
Yeah, it is definitely.
Yeah, I just I genuinely think that I haven't been in a battle that crunchy before in my freaking life.
Oh, I've never seen one that bad.
Yeah,
that was extreme.
So to give context,
yep.
I've been LARPing now, like I said, for about a year and a bit.
Veteran.
Yeah, since last January, sort of thing. Played quite a few games. Different systems, loads of them, about 7 different systems now.
Wow.
Been to a load of the games and sort of enjoyed a lot of them. Some of them I have other opinions about, but we won't get into that. But this Empire that I just been to, going into that battle on Sunday and just being a part of that, it was genuinely the most threatening experience I've ever had to any of my characters in terms of something that wasn't directly threatening them. Because it being such a big battle, with just that many monsters and that many people, when things go sideways, things really go fucking sideways.
Definitely, yeah. The fight was mostly in just one field, so it wasn't too separated out. So it was, I don't know the numbers exactly, I'm probably wrong. I think it's like 400 versus 400, might be wrong. I know there was like 190 winter markers at least. So let's say 300 versus 300 as a ballpark. If there's that many against that many, if like you said, if something goes wrong, it's so easy for one side to just steamroll, and that's kind of what happened in this
It is
one.
what happened, yeah. Because like with all the different nations going into it, we had our objective going in, which was defend these 2 pillars while the ritual teams get to work, and then there's a 3rd pillar that we have to get together. And we couldn't even hold the 2 pillars because like it was just a weird mix of people either being really, really bullshit and really involved and really getting stuck in, and then the other half of them being really tentative.
Yeah, God, it was interesting. Obviously, I've got a very different perspective because I was on the other side, just watching you guys come forward, and you could kind of almost, I sound really big-headed here, but you can kind of tell from the outset as you guys were walking in that it was so. I won't name any nations. I won't name and shame any nations. However, one big nation that carry big shields and are very pious were very disorganized.
They were,
and you normally expect that between the nations. So say like there was Imperial Orcs in Navarre, you'd normally expect that between the nations there'd be a bit of discontent or disagreement on which direction to go, where to put your shield line, whatever, because you've got different generals. But it was really surprising to see that Navarre and Imperial Orcs worked so well together.
We did.
Helped save each other's lives. But then this one big nation, unnamed, was just a rabble.
It was,
and I'd say personally cost the fight.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, you know my opinion on this. So my character, another good thing that can come out of sort of battles is the icy repercussions of it. So sort of obviously we went through this battle, we went through this horrifying crunchy situation where we just got completely crushed. You're walking through the field, you're dodging in between these giant groups of people getting surrounded and slaughtered. And you're sort of using your brain and you're using every single bit of hard skill that you have in terms of like dodging arrows and under spears, and at one point literally past 2 orcs with their backs turned who hadn't noticed me yet, and I just fucking ran for it.
Yeah, definitely. It's a mess.
Yeah, and when you go through an experience like that and you see half of the field being either really tentative or like you see them in a giant shield wall watching you die, like watching you take arrow after arrow and yelling at them to come and help because your friends are dying beside you and they do nothing and they just stare. Coming out of that, the amount of icy hatred is just it's like a fucking vortex. It's some of the most intense emotions that you can get at LARP, the repercussions of icy actions that others take. And yeah, so coming out of that, a lot of us now will be looking at that particular nation or looking at certain people in that battle who are in that fight and having genuine reasons to like just fucking either ignore them or go and yell at them.
And that's not a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination. That's amazing, like, character development and opinions being made, and therefore conversations and such. Having a deep hatred for a certain type of people or nation within the game is amazing roleplay to have.
Totally is. So for my first time at Empire, actually, I was in a skirmish on the Friday, and because of reasons of getting downed in that fight, I got through the portal.
Amazing.
And I actually ended up coming through late because of it.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't
because
know
I got thrown through. I got thrown through late. For some reason. I think it was like portal wibbly wobbly or something.
All right, yeah, I'll accept that.
Yeah, and so I got a traumatic abdomen wound, which the 4 doctors rushed over to sort me out and sort of dig around in my guts and realign everything and sew it back up. Oh yeah, I was giving it proper shrieking and everything.
Medical roleplay is amazing.
Oh yeah, it was blooming beautiful. Sort of like laughing through the pain, then going, "Oh no, laughing hurts. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. Oh god." Yeah, giving it lip. Screaming the fucking tent down. And then after this fight, and another thing I actually met one of the commanders for the skirmish. And he told me OC that if he sees my character, he's gonna come over and yell at her for going through the gate late.
Wow. Okay then. Yeah. That's cool.
Like, he told me that OC, and I didn't see him IC again for the rest of the weekend, which I was pretty sad about.
I know, yeah, because those moments of being shouted at or shouting at people is really, really fun.
It's really fun. But yeah, it just sort of shows that you can have these really intense moments of what the fuck, dude. And then OC be like, "Oh, you know, I'm gonna get you later, you bitch."
Yeah, exactly. There are especially before my time, but characters at Future's End, going back to that, there have been certain controversial opinion characters there who makes other players despise, like literally loathe their character. And but at the same time, then when you're out of character, it's all happy fun times. Nice to see you, mate.
Yeah.
Like like I said, it was before my time, but there was characters like that. There probably are more. There definitely are more, in fact.
Oh yeah.
Who my character loathes with a burning passion. But then when before the event, after time out in the evenings, I'll still do like these people, and that's the whole point of it. It lets you play a character who's not you. And who some people might hate, and you've got to deal with it.
Legit, like icy hatred is a completely valid thing, exactly. as long as it's not affecting you, OC.
Exactly.
Yeah, because obviously the phys rep, as we call it, physical representation, the player comes first in every opportunity, like in everything at all. Your comfort out of character comes before any icy interaction or icy thing.
Oh yeah, of course, definitely.
But there is a lot of instances where you will develop burning icy hatreds and rivalries and
but it's so fun.
It's so much fun. And specifically one controversial figure, full-on kind of genocidal maniac, complete baddie, awful guy.
I mean, you can drop his IC name in here if you want.
Rainmaker.
Rainmaker. Like I said, before my time, but I've heard the stories, which, as you can tell, means that they were a very controversial character.
Oh yeah. Oh, Rainmaker. What a legend. Oh, bless Rainmaker. Bless his face. Just, and the Fizz Rep is such a great guy.
I know, that's the
he's
thing.
Gorgeous.
I can't imagine it.
I know. And he's so sweet. And like, it was just all of the icy interactions we had were just like, me messing with him and him being like
probably plotting your demise.
Probably. I was probably on his hit list at one point. I wouldn't be surprised about it. But yeah, just like then OC being like, "Hi dude, how you doing? You're the best. I love you so much." Yeah, and just oh god, just people like that are a blessing onto this world because you make friends in the weirdest places. Even if you start out hating each other, IC, you'll probably end up becoming fast friends, OC.
Definitely,
yeah, because I think that's a lot of what was it Mark off of Tabletop Weekly?
Yes, yeah,
was talking about as well that some of his favorite interactions have been with a person who he has intense rivalry with, IC.
Oh, right, yeah. It produces so much game. And it's not... I think it, in a way, is because out of character, in the real world, the big, bad, boring world, you have a lot of interactions with people you like, Like, I'll chat with someone I know, and I'll be like, "Hi, how's it going?" At work or whatever. But it's not often you get to have a conversation or an argument with someone. I mean, a lot of people do argue, obviously, but it's not with such a burning passion about things as you can at LARP. And know that it is a perfectly safe space to do it, and that you'll be friends with the person afterwards. It's quite a unique, cathartic, I guess, experience.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, like I'm not an angry person. I don't hate pretty much anyone, but I do love the concept of the fact that I can make up a fake hatred for someone in a fake world and shout at them.
It's great. Yeah. Like sort of, I think you and I are one and the same in just absolute hatred of OC confrontation. Really sort of having people get up in your face and being really aggressive, and you're just
definitely.
God, this is awful.
Yeah. But then the moment that time in happens, I'm like up in people's grill. Like...
like fuck you, mate. You want to go at it? You just fucking go.
It's a similar attraction to Dungeons and Dragons, where you can play a character that you couldn't do in real life. And whilst you are limited by certain hard skill things and such in LARP, and unlike D&D where you can literally fly. It is still a similar thing in a roleplay aspect, is that you can RP things that you would otherwise not be able to.
Yeah, totally.
And it is addictive as hell.
It is. Oh god, it's so addictive.
Yep.
It's awful. It's not. It's really brilliant. But
I will say that starting LARP those months ago is the best decision I've ever made.
Oh hell yeah.
However, it is also one of the most costly experiences I've ever made.
Yep. Come into LARP expecting your bank account to drain by the daily, and also you will never be able to think about anything else again ever.
True. It's weird. Like I don't know what I used to think about. I have no idea.
It's terrifying. You wake up and you're just like, ooh, I have an idea for a new icy thing. Who did I used to be? Yeah, who was he? Who is she?
I've written backstories for characters through Dungeons and Dragons and LARP and things like that. However, I've never once in my life been tempted to write a fiction about anything. Not a pre-existing fictional universe like books, series, TV show, let alone a character of my own summation and creation. However, LARP has reached me into such a mindset where it's got me so keen for it and for playing these characters that I have actually been persuaded to write actual fictions about my characters, and that shows to you how goddamn addictive this game is, and how
the keen.
The keen is a hell of a drug.
It really is. Makes you do all sorts of crazy shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Like drive across the country.
Yeah.
and hang out with people you've never met. When I first went LARPing, I literally went with one person, Sam. That's the only person I knew that did it. And I met with strangers who invited me to a group of like 50 people were like, "Hey, we'll look after you," and I'm like, "Okay, fine, let's
don't know you from Adam."
No problems. And I met them, and they got me very drunk. These people I'd never met before.
Yep.
And I just accepted it. And it turns out, luckily enough, that they are the loveliest people I've ever met.
Yep.
And then from there, I've met more lovely people who I cannot imagine my life without at this point.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
This is my first game, Future's End. I had no idea. I went in completely alone.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
No one with me. I just rocked up with my little tent and my little rucksack.
Aw.
Sat down in the middle of the field and went, let's do this.
Yeah. Such gumption.
Got this, my dude. Yeah. Because I was also like, yeah, just sort of went there, pounced about, made friends. And obviously I'd met them all online, but like I'd never really spoken to them.
Yeah, it's different, isn't it?
Yeah. And it was amazing. Sort of the amount at which you get taken under people's wings at LARP is absolutely amazing. Because if you turn up a newbie and you're a bit nervous and you're not sure what you're doing, I guarantee you the first person you talk to will be like, come with me, little one.
Yeah, not in a
Let me
way.
look after you. Yeah, exactly. They're so
A
lovely.
perfect example would be that this Empire event, I packed everything like 5 minutes before I left. And I've been to a fair few LARPs at this point, not as many as yourself, but a fair few. And I've been camping pretty much all my life, and I know the basics ins and outs, what you need. You know, tent. That's a big one. Like my costume and stuff. I packed everything. I was really proud of myself. Bought some extra alcohol. Good. Turn up on the site. Start unpacking my.
What did you forget?
I forgot one important thing. That would be the sleeping bag. In April weather.
Yep.
Very important, in fact. And things I wasn't worried though. This is like because I know that one, I'm in a big group, and two, even if I wasn't, I could walk up to strangers and be like, "Has anyone got any spare bedding?" And you'd get 15 sleeping bags thrown at you.
Yeah.
You'd be clotheslined by 20 blankets.
Yeah.
Someone would be like, "Hey, I've got an extra mattress," and you'd be drowning at this point underneath it. And then someone would turn up and be like, "Hey, I've got armbands.
Yeah.
Stop you from drowning."
Exactly.
And they create the problems in this album. But yeah, I ended up with more bedding than I needed. So legit. I might just not bring anything next event and see what happens. I'll
exactly.
start up without. I was in somebody else's tent using somebody else's bedding. I won't bring underwear next time and see what happens.
Exactly. You'll just get like icy breeches thrown at you and be like, "Damn, make it into a diaper." I don't give a shit. Just do it, dude. It's fine.
Chainmail thong.
Chainmail thong. Oh no, because those actually exist and they scare me so much. Oh my gosh, that's so scary. Charles, why? Internet, stop it.
Kink shame the internet.
Kink shaming is my kink. Fucking internet.
Universe implodes.
Exactly. Don't cross the streams, y'all.
I have another question for you, Ella.
Go for it.
This one's multiple choice, in fact.
Oh shit. Yeah. I'm not ready for this. Do I have to take notes?
With a little bit of pretext.
Okay. Is there going to be a quiz?
No. Here's the pretext.
Okay.
Oh no. You stood on a bluebell. That's the pretext.
No.
Sorry, I'll give that to you again, since you started off. Oh no. You've stood on a bluebell. For this punishment... No, for this crime, your punishment will be... A. The electric chair.
Right, yep.
B. 1 million years dungeon.
Okay.
Or C. Death by snoo snoo.
Alright. Do I have to choose my punishment?
Oh no, this is... Sure.
Okay. What's a snoo snoo?
Oh, it's a...
First of all...
It's a Futurama joke, never mind.
Okay. Alright. I mean... I'm gonna choose 1,000-year dungeon, because then I can dig my way out.
1 million years dungeon.
Yeah, because dungeons are bullshit, and they're escapable.
True.
Yes, I can escape a dungeon. Escape a dungeon any day I want, motherfucker.
I mean, first of all, how dare you for standing on a bluebell?
Exactly. Oh, okay. So, yeah, this is relating back to our point earlier about the cookies situation. Because another...
Well, it was a busy day in the LARP community.
The little trolls had their little fingers on the keyboards ready to go that day. They were on it, the point. They were ready.
And some of our lovely, more trolly friends were definitely fueling the fires of that particular gate. You know who you are, all of you.
Oh, you beautiful bastards.
Yeah, definitely. There was another one that day as well. I can't remember what it was, though. Oh yeah, it was the journalism thing. However,
yeah.
I do not have a witty question for that one.
We're gonna leave that one
die. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lovely field or forest full of bluebells at the most recent Empire event, for context. And when you're battling and you're playing a character that does not care about flowers, you will trample them. And people do care about flowers out of character, and therefore were very upset. I don't think it was quite as heated this year. However, last year there were people saying, I'm never coming back to Empire because they stood on a bluebell. The conversations this year were more along the lines of people asking if they were like native, or I don't know about flowers, but if they were a particular type of bluebell and therefore they would avoid them. Well, but yeah.
I mean, here's the thing: the people who were up in arms, were up in arms for the wrong reasons. Because the people who were up in arms were like, "Oh, it's a super rare bluebell. Oh my god, you guys! They're like internal infrastructure of bees. It's fucking ridiculous." And meanwhile, everyone else is there like, "Dude, they're common fucking bluebells, man. they come back every year. They would be fine."
We couldn't get rid of them if we tried.
Exactly. This is how environment. Do you know how to environment? Because I don't think you do.
It's bounce back.
This is the point. The flowers appear and then they go away. That is the whole thing here. That is what am I missing here? What is going on right now? And also another thing, it was that a lot of the time for that game, the only places where you could put your foot, where you wouldn't sink a meter deep, were the patches where the bluebells were.
It's true. Would you rather drown or save one little blue boy?
Exactly, which will pop back in a year.
Exactly.
And probably be up and running again before you've even left the field. It will probably just spring back up and be like, "Yo, I got this."
That's true.
Yeah, it blew me away, the amount of stupidity.
So I like flowers as much as the next guy. However, you're in a field pretending to be a mighty warrior. Yeah. And there has to be a little bit of divide there. Personally.
Yeah. And also, like, I'm just pointing this out here. I'm a Navarre. We're basically aggressive gardeners.
You are flower child.
We are flower children. If anyone cares about the fucking flowers, it's us.
It's true.
Like, come on, dude. If we're not panicking about it, you don't have to shit yourself. We'll be fine.
I'm not gonna go out on my way to like kick them, but if there is a path that I can take that is either drowning or a field of orcs, and then the third path is Bluebell Town, I will walk Bluebell Town.
Also because that's freaking gorgeous, and like, why wouldn't you want to walk through a lovely field of bluebells and
Next
be like,
stop,
holy
Bluebell
shit.
Town.
Exactly.
I'd love to go to Bluebell Town. It's like Smurfville.
Oh, that sounds so good. You know, that sounds like the best place ever. I'd take my little trowel.
The monorail.
I'd take a book. I'd do some field sketches while I was out there.
Of bluebells.
Yeah, have a look at how they are.
I feel like once you go to Bluebell Town, you've seen it all.
Yeah. Would you be desensitized to all bluebells from there on out?
In fact, I think I would have a deep-seated hatred for bluebells after I bluebells.
Yeah, just too many bluebells.
Yep.
Just day 32 of walking through Bluebell Town.
Lost in an endless sea of blue.
We've run out of water. The captain died 4 days ago.
I ate him.
The bluebells consumed the rest.
They ate everything but the teeth.
Yeah. Which were left, and then surprisingly, the pigs came along and ate those.
Oh yeah, the pigs, they actually changed their tune and ate the teeth.
Yeah, they didn't eat anything else. They just wanted the teeth. Fancied a varied diet.
Nothing was left.
No,
it was just
his hopes and dreams.
Pearly whites.
His hopes and dreams, and his dentures.
Exactly.
But yeah, so that was another wonderful thing. And if you ever dare step on a bluebell, we will murder you in your sleep and leave you to die.
You've heard it here first. It is 1 million years dungeon. That is the punishment for standing on a bluebell.
And hence it shall be henceforth.
Yep. It is decreed.
Yep. Don't ask us where we'll get the dungeon. Shut up.
I could not. It'll be in Bluebell Town.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's in Bluebell Town. God, man.
I could not resist that one.
Beautiful. That was well done, because I wasn't sure where you were going with that. And well, the second you said bluebells, I just went, oh, here we go.
This is what it's gonna be.
Oh, Empire.
Please keep coming up with various controversies and gates. Get Empire, because it gives me life.
Yeah,
I did see someone produced a LARP controversy generator on Facebook. That was like first letter of your character's name and birthday of birth and whatever.
Mine was basket hilt rapiers for my controversy.
I can't remember what mine was. It was like something is cheating. I can't remember what it was. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, basket hilt rapiers is a big one.
Yeah. Oh, fuck's sake.
You're part of the problem now.
I am part of the problem. I have a wonderful basket hilt rapier by the Foam
Wizard.
It's
not on brief.
Fuck off. Fuck off. Get in bin, shut the bin, and then set yourself on fire, please.
Sail away in the bin.
Sail away in the bin. Because let's be honest here, if Mike Light has made something, you don't give a shit what it looks like. It's just fucking gorgeous.
Wow, that is disrespectful.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I have the most gorgeous little Mike Light rapier, and I am so much in love with it. I will sing its praises to the heavens, because it and Mike Light, he's a freaking wizard. He's a freaking wizard. I don't know how he does it, but he's somehow managed to get it just perfect for me.
No.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah. Hashtag not sponsored. Kind of sponsored.
Get your sponsorship out of it.
Yeah, I gotta be sponsored.
What was my one? Nordic LARP is cheating, and you need to stop being offended by it.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Nordic LARP is cheap. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no, because
there's some good ones on him.
Oh dear. Because I don't know. Okay, so Nordic LARP, for context, Nordic LARP is a LARP in which you bleed as your character, is the theory. So they tend to be rather rules light. They tend to be very RP heavy. I
don't actually know anything about this.
Yeah, so Nordic LARP, I'm not entirely sure where the culture came from, but it's things such as T67, Tenement 67 in the UK, here in the UK, that's Nordic LARP. So sort of, it's less about sort of the hit point slog and building your character and such likes. It's more about if you get shot by a gun, you decide what that effect is on your character. Yeah. So if you get shot on the chest, you can be like, yeah, no, fair enough, and die. Like, and be really dramatic about it and have like your final speech to the world before you bleed out on the floor. Or if you get shot in the shoulder, you can be like, oh, you got me, and sort of start stumbling away and trying to get away from that situation. And sort of, you can then go to the hospital and be like, I got shot, can you help me?
Ow.
Yeah, ouch. But it's less about, oh, that gunshot knocked 3 health off of my character. I need to go and get 30 minutes of roleplay done to heal up again.
That's cool. Yeah. So they're both the systems I've currently played are very, in terms of health and combat, are very rules heavy. Mm-hmm. As relatively rules heavy. So I mean, Empire is slightly more simple because it's a global hit point system. So you'll just say that your entire character has 8 hits left, whereas Future's End is a locational. Sort of the two main ways of doing it. So there's global and there's locational. So my arm will have 2 hit points. My head will have 1 because I've been hit in the head, and things like that. Mm-hmm. Whereas, so the Nordic LARP is more the ones where there is no health point system. It's just you take it as you feel you should. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Yeah, I like that.
Yep. So if you get pistol whipped in the face, a ref might come over and be like, "Your jaw is broken."
All right.
You can be like, "Yeah, right then." Ow. Oh no. Yeah. Mac. Yeah, like we were after Empire, where we went to McDonald's, mostly still in kit, with my Navari makeup still on my face, and just walked up to the
So I didn't sleep a lot at Empire.
And just went,
for various reasons, just not going to bed early enough and having to be up super early. I didn't sleep very much. I was very tired. There was a lot of alcohol ingested. I didn't shower. I smelled disgusting. I looked disgusting. I still had black face paint on from monstering. And we were like, let's get out of here. Let's go get McDonald's. Because at this point in time, we thought we had to get you to a train. And so we turned up, and the poor woman on the counter.
Oh, bless them.
A sight behold her. I mean, I put a jumper on to like cover up my tunic that I was wearing, but I still had trousers drenched, encrusted with mud, and you were there with your face paint on, and neither of us had washed.
No, we were.
And we're there just like slam the money on the table.
Big Mac,
mozzarella zippers. and then like you were like, I'll just have the same as him, just to save time, and she was there like shaking behind the till.
Yeah.
And then we get given our food, and lo and behold, they missed out one of the mozzarella dippers, and this guy, I'm just like, there should have been 2 mozzarella. There should have been 2 mozzarella. Yeah. And he looks at, he's like, no, there's only one on the receipt, and I'm about to say, okay, that's fine, I'm really sorry, that's obviously my fault, but he goes, I'll get you one.
Yeah.
He went and grabbed us some free mozzarella dippers.
Yep. Bless his soul.
And we're there, and then I go up to the bathroom and I look, I catch sight of the monster in the mirror, and boy, is that, it's me. Oh Lord! And I watch the blackened mud go down the drain.
Mm-hmm.
Because camping in a field for 3 days, 4 days.
4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because bearing in mind here, we had been in this field 4 days. We had not been warm for 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a lot of we had a running water problem. It was just issues everywhere, and just you don't have time to shower, and sometimes you can't sleep because it's genuinely too cold to sleep. It's just it's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And you suddenly walk into this place with like climate control and hot
food.
water and food, actual hot food. Oh my God. And like flooring instead of just mud.
Yeah.
And just, oh man.
That's what got me. I think I got out of the car and I was just like, what? I was trying to compensate for sinking into mud still, and I was just sort of like walking funny.
It was literally walking like you'd been kicked in the dick, because like
lots of experience with that.
Yeah, because you're just there like, oh, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm not sinking half a mile into the fucking floor every time I take a step now.
What are you thinking about?
Yeah, it's, oh God. And just this poor McDonald's just got raided by 2 grubby, knackered nerds. It's snarfing mozzarella sticks and face planting the sink in attempt to get some.
I've never cared less about what people think of me as they look at me.
Oh yeah, in fact,
why is that guy wearing a gold trimmed tunic? Well, you can come ask me and I will headbutt you.
Exactly. Like I was full on bullshit at that point. I was high on air conditioning and food. Like I was full on swaggering past this table of youths who were like giving me an eye, and I was at it. My shoulders were back. I was like, I'm in the zone. I'm in the zone.
This is the point where you have to detach the LARP from the character, because you can attack and kill people in a LARP and get away with it, but there are police in real life.
Yeah, you can't do that. You'll get punched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it hurts.
Also, I'm not the most intimidating of people.
No, true.
Yeah, I'm like, I'd like to think that I'm quite a nice person usually, but there are certain points where I will turn around to someone and say, fucking fight me. Now, in the LARP field, most of these people will be my friends who are used to this kind of bullshit from me and either punch me back or sort of deal with it. However, someone in the IRLZs may just legitimately fucking deck me.
True, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we both got some martial arts experience, but when you're being bullshit and not expecting, you're expecting to be hit in the side with a foam sword, not a straight jab to the eye.
Yeah, like especially when you're tired and you're just like you're not expecting it. You're like, oh, okay, my nose hurts. Ow!
I'm seeing stars.
I can smell sound now. That's interesting.
I just wanted mozzarella sticks.
He just wanted mozzarella sticks. I mean, the people in that McDonald's, however, were nothing compared to us two on Thursday.
Oh, are we going to get into that?
In terms of bullshiness. Shall we get into that, Charles?
Oh, dear.
Shall we tell the people?
So for context, let's take a step back here. You remember earlier in this podcast we said how there is a drinking culture at LARPs, and you don't have to take part in it. However, we do take part in it, and we take part in it proudly.
We do.
And I brought a couple of bottles of spirit. I think it was like gin and it was some rum. And I was like, that'll do me for the full weekend. I'll be fine. And then started drinking it, and I was feeling friendly. Hadn't seen these people in a while. I was like, I'll share it with them. So I was sharing it with a fair few people, and we're making the rounds, giving a brief tour to some few friends. There was a good group of us. A lot of them new to Empire, so I was showing them where things were. And we make it eventually to the tavern at the centre of Anvil. The Forge, I think it's called.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and we get a table. easy enough on a Thursday night. Lots of people there. We get a table and we're chilling, we're chatting away, and the rum's gone at this point. Why is the rum gone? The rum's gone.
It's because
it was only half a bottle though, so that's not that big of a deal. So we start on the gin, and the gin just goes. I didn't even used to like gin, but it just goes, and soon enough we're out of it, and we're also out of it.
We were very out of it. We were gone by that point. It was
bad.
There was 2 instances where I've been that drunk before in my life.
God, it was bad.
Oh, we were a mess. I was paralytic by the end of the night.
Yeah, we got you. Jesus, there was probably 4 or 5. There were 6 of us at this point, and we're all pretty jolly.
Yeah.
But like you said, you have a tendency to say "fight me" to people, and like you said, most of the time that's a little jolly endeavour. And like I said, we both have martial arts experience.
Yeah.
So we both have an understanding, while sober. Big disclaimer. How fights work.
Yes.
And so I think I heard you say, "Fucking fight me."
Yeah.
And I turned around expecting this to be the usual jolly endeavour, but I turned around, you've got your fists up in a relatively drunk, swaying fighting stance.
Yep.
And so I think
you just went for it.
We just fucking went for it.
Yeah.
And I tried to sweep your legs out, and
it was hilarious.
All of a sudden, there was screaming and shouting because people turned around.
And saw
there was
you.
to see a 6'3" individual, me, not Ella, me trying to sweep the legs out of this 5 foot something individual,
5'3",
and thought I was beating the shit out of you. But luckily they were there because they saved my life from you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
man.
I think the word they were like, "Oh, wait, get off each other! What are you doing?" Shout and scream, and I was like, "Oh, we're besties. It's fine." And I just go, "It's my fucking tavern!"
Yeah. Boy, that was hilarious.
God,
though.
It was bad.
Wouldn't change it for the world.
No.
I think the best bit though was that you got approached IC after this event, and someone legitimately went, "Are you the one who started the fight in the tavern?"
I was talking to someone saying, "Oh yeah, this." I was explaining the situation, and then someone walked up and was like, "Oh, was that you?" I was like, "Oh god."
Oh shit! We've made
What
the
did I
news.
do?
We've made the news.
What did I do? That gin. Never again, gin.
You say this.
Apparently that's what it does to me.
Until the next time.
Gin makes me a violent man.
You are a violent man. Shut up.
Harsh words.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Especially since you know it's true. Hush your face. Hush your face. Are you though? Are you? Not yet. You're not.
To my core.
Not yet. You're not, Sonny Jim. Just wait until I get ritual magic, and then I will wound you for the sake of magic.
Oh, big words.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting into the magic game at LARP, which is something I'm not too interested in.
Yeah, so at Empire, one thing that you can do as a new player, if you've been to your first event and you're not happy with how your skills panned out, or you feel like some of them were wasted, you can decide to completely rejig your character post-event, which is something that I have decided to do, because I spent 2 points on a skill called Endurance, which gives you an extra hit. Now, I found through my in-character experience that having that extra hit did not do jack for me. Because a lot of the time, I was getting pin-cushioned by arrows or cleaved, which takes you down to bleed count immediately.
It does, if you're not wearing chainmail.
If you're not wearing heavy armor. So I'd go down, and the ability that would help me would be my Unstoppable, which means I yell and scream through it and go, "Fuck you, I'm fucking unstoppable," and get back up again on 3 hits, which is great. It's absolutely fucking fantastic. But that extra hit of endurance did jack all for me, because I didn't end up actually using most of my sort of hit points in terms of the actual numbers that I had. So I've decided to broach the great gods of PD to switch out to that endurance to get access to spooky dooky magics. Which Empire is either
magics, right?
Specifically, yes. So at Empire, you don't really have the things that LT has with magic, which is sort of you point at a person, go, "Oh, you motherfucker!" I blast your head, fall over, or like strike down. At Empire, that sort of thing is handled in battle magic, which is where you have a magically imbued staff or wand, and you actually have to make contact with them to cast the spell, which is pretty cool, I think.
It's cool, yeah. It's different, like you said.
It's a novel way of approaching it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I also think that you coming from Empire to things like LT, it would be an interesting thing for you as well.
Well, Future's End is like that as well, isn't it? You sort of point, shout, and will do its psychic bolts and to people's heads and stuff. And I find that's something I want to get into eventually. That's my next step. Yeah, I think it's still a confidence thing. It's the shouting, like, by my power, I cast this, and it's something I'm still not super into. I'm fine with, like, shouting single as I hit someone, or Empire where you shout nothing as you hit them. It's great. But, yeah, I'll get there soon.
Yeah, I think it's also because it's one of those things that is mocked about LARP.
Exactly, yeah, definitely.
It's the people, it's that video, isn't it? Where loads of people, are like twatting this big old guy in a fucking Empire, like a Skyrim helmet with little foam sticks, going, a lightning bolt, fucking magic missile.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
That's the stigma that I had heard of before I came to LARP.
That is the stigma. But actually, it's really fucking fun.
Yeah, it doesn't exist like that. That's sort. I mean, maybe some systems somewhere, but I think it's more likely that kind of LARP with the sort of the mocking lightning bolt is just someone's backyard LARP sort of thing. It's not like any actual official systems and things like that. It's so different from any kind of mocking videos you will have seen.
Yeah, and it's actually super freaking fun.
Oh man!
So one thing that happens at LT is I am a specific brand of magic called Magecraft. Yeah, and one of the spells that I have is mute, which is super shenanigans. It's hilarious.
I love silence and mute.
It's so funny.
It's so funny.
It's so funny. So one cool thing that came from it though was we were in a battle and I saw an enemy mage hovering over one of our compatriots who had fallen, and they were doing this thing called wasting them, which is where they essentially half their bleed count and make them die quicker.
Ooh, that's savage.
It's nasty. So my little dipshit Faye points at this motherfucker and goes, "Oi, you in the purple face! Mute! Shut the fuck up!"
Wow.
Yeah, and they just went, "Oh fuck, I don't have immunities to that." And yeah, and at that point, like 5 people went over and cut them to crap.
So I'm assuming this waste spell required vocals. Then is that?
Yes.
So that's neat.
Yeah. So sort of at LT, magic runs off of vocals. So you say sort of by the power of magic, I waste this pattern, or by the power of magic, I cast fucking blast on your face. Go die in a hole.
Ass blaster.
Ass blast your face. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, mute is a horrifying spell.
That's cool. I like
for people. Yeah. A lot of monsters have immunities, but for those who don't, sucks to be them.
So true. I've only seen silence used, it's just because it's called silence in Future's End. I've only seen it used once, and it was in a less than, it wasn't a combat scenario by any stretch of the imagination. It was some guy, in character name was River, was having the tips of his fingers carved off because they've been frostbitten by, very ironically, as he well understood too, by putting his fingers in the River of Death, if I'm not wrong, or in a river. So yeah, he was screaming and shouting, giving it his all. A really amazing medical roleplay in this tent. And this other character, Lumina, it's a jolly soul, jolly ethereal soul, who was trying to have a conversation apparently and didn't quite fancy his screams, and so just decided to, by my power, or by the power of the astrals or whatever, silence. And so all of a sudden, River is having to scream silently. An extra layer of challenge to that medical roleplay.
Poor kid.
I know.
Yep.
But I'm there like, does this have a
combat
benefit, this silent spell, or is it just to stop people from screaming?
Yeah. It's like, well, there's your answer to that. Yes,
exactly.
It is useful for dealing with mages.
Definitely, yeah.
It's also useful to stop people from yelling, in pain as they're getting their fingers fucking carved apart.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Criminy. I really kind of hope you bled every year.
It's some of my favourite roleplay.
It's super fun. It's super duper fun.
I never really had to experience it. Been injured and have doctors trying to fix me until this Empire event actually, when my lungs apparently filled with water. That's the trauma card I got.
Yeah, do you want to tell them more about that?
Well, the fight was easy. We went on this little skirmish, time in, basically 15 minutes had passed and it was time in, we went on a little fight against some zombie-like husk beings, and they were super slow and sluggish, so we just tore them apart. And then the time came where the gate was closing, so we had to leave. We didn't find our objective, but there was another skirmish coming later, so it didn't matter. But then as we were walking through the Sentinel Gate, the entrance to the battlefield, we were handed by a bumblebee, or a yellow mist, or however you want to refer to them, ref of the system. They handed us a bunch of trauma cards. And we all read it, and it just said, your lungs are filled with grime and water, and you have trouble breathing. In 10 minutes, you're on 0 hit points. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay then. And every 10 minutes after that, it also happened. So if you got healed back up, you would just come back down again. Yeah, so then we were all a squad of about 25 of us, all just coughing and spluttering over to the medical tent.
Yeah.
And they were barely set up. There's a hospital center, Empire, and they're normally full of doctors and surgeons ready for when a big battle happens. However, time in, it happened 20 minutes ago. This was just a super small skirmish. There were barely any doctors there. They were milling about, and suddenly 25 people all come spluttering over to them. And luckily, I was one of the first people there. However, I know there were people that are not so lucky and were almost killed by this lung water. Yeah. Which I was sitting there after I'd been healed, thinking this would be really, really crap if this was your first event. Yeah. And you go on a really easy fight, not too interesting, and come back and die in the medical tent because of water.
Yep.
Drowning. But it was amazing. Like, I was sitting there and this woman was like fussing and obviously they read the card to figure out what they have to do to heal you. And then all of a sudden she's like, this is gonna sting, and I'm like, what? And then she stabs me in the neck.
Yep.
Or like, more players stabbing me in the neck with a scalpel, and I'm just there like screaming. And then you don't know how long to do it for, and it took. I was still screaming. It's like, it should stop hurting now, and I'm like, okay, lovely, thank you. I can stop screaming my heart out.
Yep. Just my throat hurts. Yeah. Oh no.
And I stayed because then we were weakened, so we couldn't just go back out and fight. So I was sitting there like pretending to be weak and stuff, and she was like, "Oh, we need this bench now, get out." And I'm like, "Okay, then fine.
Sure, leave. That's fine.
I respect you, thank you."
Yep. Like, I'm sorry, I'll stumble up by myself. I'm fine.
Yeah, and you had one, like you said, with like 4 people elbow deep in your stomach, like fixing you. So there's different standards.
It really was. So it was a funny sort of experience to have, actually, because obviously the ref had to go and get a trauma card for me for the thing, which is why I ended up going through the gate late, simply because the ref had to run back and get a trauma card for me being a dickhead. Because I was actually one of the first people through the gate when I got thrown through it.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they came back, and I had like 2 or 3 refs just there going, "Oh, you're gonna have fun with this. This is going to be really funny. So what we're gonna do?" Yeah, like they were talking me through it step by step was what they were gonna do to me.
That's amazing.
Yeah, just they're like, "So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hand you this card. You're gonna roll through the gate. Like, we're gonna chuck you through, fall to the floor, roll for a bit, and then you can sort of come to and start shrieking your head off." Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
It was so good. So I got through the gate, and I just got full on scruff of my neck chucked through it. Fell to the floor, rolled around, role played coming to and being like, "Oh, well, my stomach hurts a lot. I think I can see sound. Is that normal? Is that normal?" Sort of like,
is this normal?
Stumbling about, trying to make, "Oh, I'm fine. You're bleeding everywhere. You're not fine. I'm fine." Get her to the medical tent. Yeah. And it was at the point where my character is she's a dickhead. Like, she's a complete asshole.
Yeah, true.
Sort of thing. And she's got a few priorities on her mind. A lot of that being sort of like booze, money, and women. This is
amazing.
Yeah, this is sort of her priority list.
Yeah.
So sort of being on this bench, being medicked on by 4 lovely lady doctors.
I see where this is going.
Like, whilst on the medical table with her hands literally in my fucking stomach,
inside
trying to resetting my abdomen, like full on slicing me open.
She did not even
RP.
buy you dinner.
No, she just went straight in there, fam. Just they're like asking their names and being like,
that's amazing.
Yeah, and just like laughing and flirting whilst screaming and being cut open at the same time.
Goals.
Yeah.
This is why we LARP, people. In what world can you have conscious full-on open abdomen surgery whilst also flirting with
the doctors.
Poor lovely doctors.
Yeah, and bless their souls, like they sat me up and they were sort of looking at me like,
what is wrong with you?
are you okay? Do you need a glass of water? What is this right now? You are very strange.
Yeah.
And they just sort of palmed me off on 2 other Navari who were walking by, like, please get her back to camp. I don't know if she'll make it. She keeps saying she's fine.
Find her a responsible adult.
Exactly. Find this one an adult. She's a disaster. She's literally gonna say she's fine and then collapse like halfway there.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that was my fun moment. But during the time where the refs were sort of standing around and chatting to me before I got thrown through the portal, it was a moment of thinking, oh my god, I might die.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. And like even before that, when I got downed, was watching the line of enemies move over my corpse.
Oh, nothing scarier.
And being like, I'm bleeding. If they've moved too far on ahead and the lads can't push back, I'm gonna die here.
Yeah.
Which was especially...
Was that on the Friday?
Yeah.
So yeah, first day, first Empire event.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it was especially kind of freaky because obviously we have in-character links.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So you'd have sort of been like rocked up to try and find me later. And like, I'd have been a completely
our
different
characters
person.
hadn't met yet that weekend.
No. Nope.
And it was your first Empire event, so we sort of planned, all right, that's how our characters know each other, so it's a little bit easier. You at least know one person. And then, well, imagine that, yeah, just walking into you later at the event. Oh, Pip! You know, like...
What's Pip?
You've arrived, finally, and all of a sudden, who's Pip?
Yeah, like completely
God,
different
I'd cry.
face. Yeah.
I'd shed a little tear.
Turn around and walk off back to Wintermark, like... Yeah, man. Just if that had happened to either of us, it'd been like, oh...
It's a risk. It's a risk we take.
It really is. It's quite funny though, because it's sort of those moments of sobering realization where you're like, I could die. That makes the game so real.
And yeah, the more thought you put into your character, the more scared you are of them dying. The more real it feels in a way.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I said, since I've now put a lot more thought into this character and given them a lot more personality and individual personality different from my own. It makes the game a lot more fun because there is a fear factor to it rather than just whatever.
Yeah. LARP is very much what you get out of it. It's investment.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you get invested, like LARP death is a scary, scary concept.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's good fun though. What else do we have planned? We had another thing, didn't we?
Another thing planned? What, at the event?
No, this thing.
What to talk about?
Everything. Oh, do you want to do on your left?
Yes. Okay. So we had an idea for this.
Yeah.
When we were at probably midnight or something, deciding
that's when we usually
what we
plan
actually
things.
wanted to talk about. What the stuff we've talked about really was nothing we had planned so far. I'd say the only thing that we had planned that we've actually talked about is the fact that I wrote down that I was going to ask the biscuits and bluebells question.
Yes.
The rest has been totally different. However, this particular segment will be one that we planned, and that is, I don't know, did we steal it from something, or was this original?
This is an original thing that we came up with.
Amazing.
Yeah, this was another 2 a.m. thing that we were like, this is a funny idea.
So we decided that at some point in the week, one of us would ask the other using only the object on your left, do such and such, or achieve such and such. And so I asked Ella a few weeks ago, because we've been trying to get this thing sorted for a while, how would you, using only the object to your left at the time that I asked it, get into a position of absolute political power? Which is quite an ambiguous question.
Yep.
But I left it quite open. And so I am interested to hear your answer to this.
Yeah, so fun backstory for this.
Yep. So where were you?
Yes. Where was I indeed? When Charles asked this particular gem, I was sat at a table, living my best life, stressing out over assignments, banging my head against the keyboard, trying to get something squared away.
Yeah.
I look over to my left, and what do I see?
What do you see?
The shitty fucking painting that Mother reclaimed from a car boot sale 2 years ago of whom the artist is ambiguous and lost to time, of a fucking tulip in a vase.
Oh, tulips are amazing. Fun bit of backstory talking about flowers. Tulips are my favourite flower. Just gonna throw that out there.
Oh, that's nice. At this point, they were my least favourite flower. So I sort of pick up this painting, and I'm just there like, well, I don't think I could use this to get like into a position on the local council, but here we go. Let's have a go. So.
Is local council your idea of absolute political power?
It's not. That was my point, Charles.
Okay, I see.
So I came up with a plan, an ingenious plan that in no way can fail, except spectacularly. So what I was going to do is, are you ready for this? Are you ready?
I'm so ready. I've been waiting for this answer for like 3 weeks.
Well, prepare your butthole. So I would take this painting.
Yes.
I would break into an art gallery.
Okay. Wow, that escalated quickly.
I would put it in a place in the art gallery where it would be like a real thing, like a real precious items collection.
That shouldn't be too difficult, because there's obviously those videos of people that have broken into modern art galleries and left like a pineapple there. And...
Yeah, so I put it there. Then what I do is I break back out again, make it look like nothing had happened, and like then go online and make a backstory for this painting. And what I do is I'd make it seem really fucking expensive, like it's this thing that's been reclaimed from like Da Vinci or some shit, and like it's the creme de la creme of art shit, right?
Wow.
And then what I do is, once a law had been created around this painting and it was worth a bunch of money, then I break back into the art gallery.
Okay. Wow, I like this.
Steal it back.
Steal it.
And sell it on the black market.
Black market? All right.
Yeah. For like way more than the £2.50 mum bought it for.
How much would you be expecting to get from this after all of your shenanigans and planning on the internet?
Bajillions.
Okay, bajillions.
Bajillions.
All right, yep.
So much money. Just roll with it. The black market is gullible, okay? Yeah. In this perfect world, I can get all the money from a £2.50.
Apparently dyslexic as well.
Shut up. From a dyslexic £2.50 tulip painting from a car boot sale. Anyway, not the point. I would sell it on the black market, and then I would use this money to buy myself a volcano layer.
Wow, all right. That was not where I thought you were going to take that at all, but yep. Secret volcano lair.
Secret volcano lair. And then I would go from there and just have all of the nice things and missiles and stuff and just be a true supervillain. And then take my place as rightful queen of the earth. Because I have a volcano lair and no one else does.
Yeah. I'll take that.
I have a volcano there. What the fuck are they gonna do? Yep. Exactly. Like I'm just
wait for it to erupt.
Yeah, I'm just invincible now. I'm god level.
All right.
Got a volcano there. What have you got? Exactly. Nothing. I've also no longer got my tulip painting.
No.
Because the black market has it, unless I steal it for a third time.
I was gonna say, steal it back.
Yeah, exactly.
Frame it.
You know what? There we go. I would steal it again for a third time, simply to have it in my volcano lair.
At this point, it feels like you can just repeat this plan endlessly. Steal it and make another bajillion. It's infinite money, surely.
Infinite bajillions, exactly. It's the perfect grift.
Wow.
I'm a genius.
I'm actually quite impressed with how you took that. That's good.
Yeah, and you know what's even more impressive?
No.
Is that I dreamt half of that.
You dreamt it?
Yes.
Like actual asleep dreaming?
Yep.
You dreamt of On Your Left, the game that we made up, and this is the first time we're actually playing it.
Well, no, not exactly, but I have dreamt about getting a volcano lair before.
Alright.
For no apparent fucking reason. Like, I had an entire dream that was just collections of scenarios in which the end result was me getting a volcano lair.
Secret volcano lair notebook, and it's just filled with, and now it has an entry in it, shitty tulip painting.
Yeah, it does.
I feel like, wow, that's a segment that we can come back to at some other point. We'll have
a volcano lair.
A volcano lair. How to get volcano lair for dummies.
How to volcano lair.
Yeah.
Magnets. How do they work?
Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's
And that is how you
Insightful.
do it. Ladies and gents, and in-betweens, you're so fucking welcome. Go forth and plan your tulip grift.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Bigfoot ain't got nothing on this. You're gonna be millionaires. Trust me. Should we finish it off with doing some Twitter questions?
All right, yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Then you don't.
This
have
has
complete...
been shamelessly stolen. This idea.
Yes, this was everything.
Of trawling through Twitter and finding LARP and D&D and other nerdy based questions to answer with
We stole this off my brother and me, didn't we?
Yeah, they do answers and stuff. You also sent me it was like Bill Nye.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the one. We stole it off like Wired, Google autofill.
I mean, a lot of people answer Twitter questions. To be fair,
it's true.
So
it's true. It's a good idea, just not a very unique one. And like that's okay.
Yeah. Stop podcast shaming us.
Stop podcast shaming us. We do what we want here. But yeah. Do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. Sure. I was really professional actually. I made a note of the Twitter handles.
Oh, shit.
I know.
Oh, shit.
Look at me.
Mate.
So I looked for D&D ones, because I couldn't find any LARP ones at the time. So, which ones do I want to go for? So this is from @Pixelscapes. Look at this. Look at this professionalism.
That's beautiful.
What D&D class are you in real life? I'm going to go with 5th edition.
That's a good one.
So, did you want to just outright say it, or did you want to try and guess each other's, or?
Okay, see, I've been thinking about this, and
okay.
I've tried to guess yours, and I've come to a conclusion. Whether or not you agree is a different matter, but I've come to a conclusion. I think you're a monk.
Oh, okay, that's not what I was expecting whatsoever.
Yeah,
which also means that it's not what I would pick myself, but
Ooh.
I would like to hear your reasoning.
Well, my reasoning behind this is because you're pretty fucking chill.
True.
Yeah, you don't seem to get mad ever about anything at all, which is like, how do you even do this? Because I spend most of my life crossword things.
I will nod to that.
Nods, yeah. And yeah, you like fighting though, even though you're very chill. And yeah, you just go through your life.
Quite a zen individual.
Quite a zen individual who still gets fighty on occasion.
Okay.
And it still has the propensity to be a bit of a dipshit.
Wow. I was quite enjoying that description until the end.
Well, is it wrong? Is it wrong?
So for myself, I was just gonna choose Ranger because I really like animals.
That's true, actually.
So I would choose. Beastmaster Ranger. Just to have my own pet that I could like bond with and love forever.
Oh, that's adorable.
I didn't really put more thought into it beyond that. I was like, which ones like animals? Boom, Druid or Ranger. Druids don't actually get the animals though. Ranger gets the animal. Boom, love it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I guess.
Bless you.
We're both right.
Yeah, no, it's true. There we go.
I did have a thought of what I thought yours was, but I've now forgotten it. So I'll put some quick thought into it now.
Okay. Okay. Have a mull.
All right. So you like fighting things? Puts you in the ballpark of fighter or barbarian. Kind of swinging towards barbarian, but
Cool.
You're also pretty shady.
Yeah. Can't argue there.
I mean, I'd say warlock, but that's just because I know you're one of your characters is warlock, and so that's why I instantly think. I'm gonna go with barbarian just because you're a very angry individual.
Oh, that's cool. No, I'll take that. I'll take that one. My ability to rage is unparalleled.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I actually went with ranger for my self-professed one as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I get very uncomfortable around large cities and large amounts of people. Very much
Outlander sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Prefer to stride in the woods and hide in a tree and ignore
Shit in
people.
The woods like a bear.
Shit in the woods like a bear, and not through my chainmail.
No.
And just sort of, humans, get out. Don't even like it. Don't want this.
So
get out.
We both got it wrong, and we were both rangers.
Yeah, man. Team Ranger!
For different reasons.
For very different reasons, but there we go.
I just like animals.
Yeah.
And the wilderness as well. Outside.
Also, I'm a nature nerd.
Nature nerd.
Geography.
Ugh. There wasn't an aeroplane class, and therefore I could not be.
Could not be a nerd like me.
No, I could not.
No. Well, you're still at university, though.
I am still at university.
Exactly. So, you didn't get off completely scot-free.
Brr.
Nah. Yeah, so that was that. That is the answer to that question. What was the handle again?
It was at Pixelscapes.
At Pixelscapes. There is your answer, at Pixelscapes.
I mean, you asked the question probably about a month ago, however...
and not to us, but there we go.
No.
It's fine. It's fine.
You're famous now.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Oh.
Do you want me to do one of mine? And
make up a Twitter handle, because you're not professional enough to...
No. Oh, no, mate. You think, that's what you think. However, I'm about to rock your world. Because I took a screenshot.
Ah, that's smart.
And therefore, I
just wrote them down in a book.
Well, I took screenshots, motherfucker. So I've got the full tweet and the Twitter handle and also their account name.
The date of birth, their address, their social security number.
Their mother's maiden name.
PIN number.
Yeah. Oh, no, wait, that's just my side business. Never mind.
Would the owner of the grey Mercedes please come outside?
Would Mrs. McClolkin from Shropshire please come and reclaim her baggage?
McClolkin.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is. Okay, so I've got something from at PM Initman.
Hey.
From account Paul Minuteman. And their question is to LARP or not to LARP? That is the question.
It's not a question though.
Not
a question whatsoever.
We all know we all know the answer to this one. And
LARP,
it's
man.
Just LARP.
Even if you don't like it, I think everyone... I say this to anyone about D&D as well, is you should try it at least once. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. However, in a very over-the-top poetic way, it has changed my life for the better. I'd say that I'm a far more confident individual from it. I've met so many new people who I can't imagine being without at this point. And yeah, sure, it worked for me. And if it doesn't work for you, then all you've really done is spent a few days in the field and you haven't really lost out on much. However, it does work for you. Boy, are the rewards worth it.
Like freaking Angelica Schuyler says in Alexander Hamilton, I'm about to change your life.
Exactly.
Come to LARP, you will never look back. It's just seriously, just try it once, see how it goes. If not, no harm, no foul, no coconuts. If not, then whatever. But if it is, then like you've just made an entirely new hobby, an entirely new group of friends who
definitely
will stick by you.
I mean, beyond that, it can get a little bit more deep and finicky because personally, I tried a very small. So Empire was my first event, and that was a huge fest LARP, 2,000 odd people there. However, I also tried more recently. I tried a very small local one that they run weekly with only a dozen or so individuals in it, and I found that really wasn't for me, personally. And I thought to myself, I said, if I'd gone to this system first, it's my first ever LARP, I probably wouldn't have continued the hobby. And so it's just because it as a first impression, it really probably would have shook me or changed my mind. And so if you're willing to maybe try more than one, then keep trying. If you're dead set that you think the hobby is for you, and if you've got experience with role playing through D&D first, I will always say try D&D first, just because it's much easier to role play either through the internet D&D or even in person, because it's not your character. You're only really speaking in character. You're not having to act and kill and fight and drink and stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
But take that logical stepping stone, that gateway drug of D&D. But yeah, definitely LARP, 2 LARP, 4 LARP, all for LARP. LARP
for the people, by the people, Eagle.
Yes, people.
Yeah. So I would also say that is very true. I would also very much speak to that because something that I've found when trying to explain this hobby to people, the misconception is that LARP is just one sort of ubiquitous blob of a thing, and it's not lots of different games. But it very much is. So LARP is a big old umbrella term for lots and lots of different genres and styles and types of game, from the rules to the setting to the way it's freaking played, and just
definitely.
There are parlor LARPs where you're indoors and there's no combat. There are LARPs that fight with cards. There are LARPs that fight with normal weapons. fuck. There's shit tons of stuff out there. I mean,
there's things you wouldn't even put the LARP term to are LARP. I mean, like airsoft in a way. If you're playing as a squad and you've got like radios and you're getting full on into it as a team, that's technically live action role play. More focusing on the live action than the role play, but you're still dressing up as a soldier and shooting each other. Murder mysteries are definitely a form of LARP.
So this actually links into my second question.
Oh, look at that little segue
that I got from Twitter. Actually, segue. So I've got one here from @NDBill. Are escape rooms considered LARPing?
Ooh.
Yeah. So what is your 2 penneth on this, Charles?
My 2 cents.
Your
That's tough,
your
actually.
two rings.
Because
this issue.
My 2 rings, most escape rooms are set up to be of a theme. So the room itself will be a theme. Like I did one recently that was I've only done one in my life, and it was a like a Black Plague house that had been sealed up, and we were going in to find out what happened and then escape. However, I myself was not role playing as a character or anything. I was. Oh, that's really tough. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Because you're escaping when you otherwise would not need to. You could just walk away. If you were not role playing, you would just go through the fire exit, or you would knock and say, "I want to go." However, by interacting with the escape room and entertaining the puzzles by doing them, I'd say that is technically LARP. I went into this answer thinking no, and I convinced myself of yes. I'd say technically it is.
Yeah, it's super interesting to think about actually, because a reply to this comment was from @Losnez.
Oh, now you're just showing off.
Lave, shush. Yes, I am actually. I'm a professional, don't you know? From @Losnez Lave, saying, I would say no. To my knowledge, you don't have any characters, but I would actually disagree with that slightly, because by very nature of interacting with sort of a fictional world and a fictional scenario, you are almost becoming a character in yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're becoming part of that fictional universe. You're assimilating into that reality.
Definitely.
Therefore, creating a divide from you interacting with that reality and you as you are in your everyday life.
Oh god, I'm getting a nosebleed.
It's just philosophy.
This is a really good question.
It's a super good question.
It seems so simple from the outset, but you think into it and it's quite deep.
Yeah, man. So I would argue that actually escape rooms are a type of sort of low intensity parlor LARP.
Yeah, definitely. Wow.
Like, I'd even go so far as to say, if you're tentative about LARP, if you're not sure if you're going to be into it or not, maybe go to an escape room with a few friends, create characters, and see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's quite... if you've got friends that are interested in going to a LARP, definitely. Oh,
yeah,
man.
And you don't want to pay out the ass for your ticket.
True.
That.
What a journey that was. I literally went into that with a full idea of how I was going to say no, and then it suddenly clicked, and I was like, but maybe it is, though.
Yeah, man.
But maybe Indie Bill, @Indie Bill, you got me.
You got me there, man. That was a good question. Well done, D&D Bill. D&D Bill, not Indie Bill.
Yeah,
not Indie Bill. D&D Bill is even nerdier. You've shooketh us to our very cores there.
Wow.
Good job. Yeah, man. The magic of podcasting, right there.
You get to hear the cogs turning as they actually turn.
We're like,
I'll edit that out. I'll make it so that my answer is 100% convinced that it is LARP.
Yeah, exactly. We're watertight here, guys.
Yeah.
We know exactly what we're
Crystal
doing.
clear.
Crystal clear. Fix it in post. Fix it in post. Oh, man. Yeah.
Wow.
Did you have another question for the D&D side of things?
I did. I do. I did Dudley do.
Did Dudley did?
It's quite similar, the ones I got, to the first one. It is, if you could choose 3 D&D 5th edition skills for you to be proficient in real life, what would you choose?
Oh,
and
shit.
Why?
Oh, shit.
So, I'm going to go ahead and say, similar to my answer to the first one I asked, is I'm going to choose proficiency in animal handling. And then I'm going to ask you a question here as the other person this question is being asked to. Can I, instead from choosing a second skill, can I choose expertise in animal handling?
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's 2 there. I've taken expertise in animal handling, double my proficiency to that.
Sure.
Such nerds. And then, I don't know, for the last one, I have no idea. I didn't think that far.
Do you want me to choose one for you?
Sure.
So
are we choosing one that we think that we have, or one that we want?
It says if you could choose, doesn't it?
Yes.
So I suppose it's what ones you want.
Okay.
Much thunk, many wow. I don't actually know. It's actually quite a tough one, isn't it, this?
I know. I kind of jumped straight on animal handling, and I've got the last one, like, I don't know.
Having to
maybe
look it up.
Cool.
Maybe. Who knows, man? Who knows? It's terrifying. Oh no.
It's tough. I'm assuming we're talking about in addition to what we already have. Like, if you think you're a very persuasive or strong person, you wouldn't choose athletics. But so I don't know.
I'm gonna say performance for you because that'd be hilarious.
You think I should have performance? I wouldn't mind that.
That'd be so funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think that'd be hilarious, especially because it's like you just sort of jump up on the table and start like singing the fucking aria. just for fans.
I'll regale everyone with my musical knowledge.
Oh my gosh, Lord of King Caractacus. Harem of King Caractacus. Yes. Yeah, yes. More of this.
That's another. Before you answer your half, but just quickly, a quick segue into that. In character songs that people make are absolutely amazing. They're so good. Oh. So
good. Oh yeah, like we have made some excellent new friends in a nation called Varushka. Oh yeah, and oh my god, just these wonderful, wonderful lads called Nikolai and Sketch in character, and bless their ever-loving hearts. Them, Slav, all of them. Bless their souls. They're such good lads, and we got. Well, we went and got drunk with them a little bit at the tavern at one point, and we just ended up singing the Harem of King Caractacus.
Oh man, I've never heard that song before, and I don't know how I've survived up until now.
Oh, so I don't know, man. I don't know how. Ditty. So good. I'm
not going to sing it now, but
no.
it's quite cool, and it's one of those, you know, like when you used to play like what's in my handbag sort of thing, and you'd say like a packet of crisps, and the person would have to say a packet of crisps and some lipstick, and you know it keeps getting longer and longer and longer and longer, and it's kind of like that in a song form.
Yep.
Oh, it's so good.
Like it's actually kind of a nostalgia trip for me because it's reminding me of the campfire songs we used to sing in Girl Guides when I was little.
Oh really?
Yeah, like there was one specific song. I think it was called The Angels on the Bedpost or something. Right. And it was just this long list of accumulating things which these groups of people were doing really stupid shit. So they were like angels dressed in white trying to get to heaven on the end of a broom, but the broom handle breaks and then they fall off and then they go to bed. And then it's like it just keeps going like that, and it's just the most ridiculous song, and it just reminded me of that so much, and it was amazing. So yeah, sort of another great thing that you will get when you go to Empire is everyone is just unabashedly belting out these amazing IC ditties, and
everyone's so talented. That's what you learn. You learn that everyone is so good at something, whether it be singing, playing an instrument, like making things with leather, making jewelry, making like LARP safe weapons. Like there's so many talented people. Like in the group I'm part of, we have 2 people who are OC modern day blacksmiths. And you know they make stuff with iron, and like they make us oath rings in character and stuff, and it's incredible. And I'm there like I don't know. I'm here.
Like that's another thing.
I made
is
this
that you yourself. Well, exactly. Like you yourself will discover things that you didn't even know you could do.
Sure, yeah.
That suddenly, having been thrust into LARP, you're like, oh shit, I can sew now. I know how to make a tunic. I know how to make a surgery gown. Freaking. Yeah.
Definitely. Even if that is purely out of the fact that you want to save some money and therefore think maybe I will find some cheap fabric and sew my own tunic. It is skills that you learn, and then you get more confident and you're like, well, I do have the money for a new tunic, but I kind of want to make my own because it feels a bit more personal. So
yeah.
It's cool.
It's that great and lovely moment of realizing that through this hobby, you just have an outlet for so much. And you can just yeah, you figure it out that you're like, oh, I can actually maybe do things that I never thought I could before, or I actually have a creative outlet which I can pour myself into and come out with something a lot cheaper than buying it real, a lot more personal than buying it real because it's something I made.
Yeah, I'm not a wholly artistic or creative individual. I think the most painting I've ever done is painting like Warhammer miniatures and things like that. And so it is very nice having a kind of outlet for that, whether that is writing the story or creating a character backstory or personality, crafting that meticulously, or getting into making costume and kit and make like sewing. Like, Lord, I last time I sewed was before GCSEs in high school, and now I've made a whole tunic with the help of certain lovely parents. However, it is it's one, and then when people compliment you on that kit, and then before you've told them that you've made it, it is one of those heartwarming moments. They're like, "Oh, that's a really nice tunic. Where'd you get it?" Well, let me tell you,
I made it, bitch.
This certain individual made it.
Yeah, look at my talent about me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a lovely little boost to the old ego, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah. And also one of those things when people are sort of unabashedly singing and going around just having a good time, and then you do it. And you step back from it and you're like, hang on, I just sung in front of a group of people and I didn't shit myself. What the fuck?
For sure.
Man, it's a good feeling. So yeah,
learning the words.
LARP is very good. Oh yeah, learn the words, belt it out, profit, really. Yep. It turns.
All right, you've had enough time to think. What are your 3 skills that you would choose?
All right, so skills, what I would very much like. I think I would quite like sleight of hand.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, like sleight of hand, because I'm already quite stealthy of a person.
Okay.
One of sort of my hard skills that I've learned over my time LARPing has been that I'm pretty stealthy when I want to be.
Okay.
But I'm not very good at the sleight of hand stuff because I don't like getting close to people.
Okay.
I just want to stay at the back.
Okay, this is interesting because you're putting these skills to how you would use them in LARP. See, I think that's cheating.
But
I think this is how you should be able to use these skills in IRL, out of character as Ella, not as.
Oh yeah. Well, you see.
Okay.
You see. Because I'm a bit of a dickhead.
Okay.
My sleight of hand would also go into learning how to do card stuff. And like maybe become IRL magician.
Interesting.
You know, like because I feel like you can do all sorts of crazy shit with sleight of hand, sort of like street magic and friggin' tarot card readings. And
it is really impressive.
That'd just be so cool. Yeah, be awesome, man. Like
all right. Well,
my best friend,
any casinos
her auntie
listening
can
to
do it.
this,
It's great.
Be warned
Wasn't us.
that Ella is learning how to put a few aces in them decks.
It wasn't me. Yeah.
Right. It's interesting.
Next one would be nature.
All right.
Just because, that would be absolutely fantastic.
Help with the revision on geography.
Well, just that, and just nature is awesome.
Cool, yeah.
I just want more nature in my life. It's so pretty and awesome. It's great.
I think for my last one, I would have chosen survival or something, so I could just do more like random, like super wilderness, chilling out.
Yeah, man, Bear Grylls.
Yeah.
Great.
But anyway, back to yours.
And my other one would be insight.
Oh, see, I thought about that, and that's why I mentioned that, because I think I'm pretty good at insight and judging people out of character and IRL.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't do it. However, it is a very useful one.
It is.
So do you think you're not good enough at judging people?
Nope. Nope. Not very good at it at all. Especially since, like, you know, there are problems, and you know, like in some mediums in today's life, such as through communicating through textual means or even communicating via voice chat, certain social cues are missing. So it can be really, really hard to gauge the tone of things.
I don't know if any insight in the world will help you gauge whether through text. I think that's just a fault of the medium.
But if it could, that would be really fucking helpful. Because I've gotten into trouble so many times where either I've misconstrued someone or someone has misconstrued me. And it's just been this whole thing and it's just not good at all.
It does happen a lot, yeah.
Yeah, social situations are hard.
Yeah, you'd have to be pretty good at insight to do it through text, but I'll allow it as theoretical DM of this world.
Of this world. If you become a super magician in insight, that will be great.
Yes.
Make me good at it. I want to be good at things.
I want to be the
I'm gonna
best.
Put my proficiency like no one ever was.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking too. Didn't think you'd jump on it quite so vigorously, but yeah.
Excuse you. Someone starts singing Pokemon, gotta go. Like, yep, I'm always in there. It's gonna happen. I'm just saying, like, you know. Just you can't not. You can't not. It's a staple of our generation, Charles.
It's like you have to accept. Yeah, true, definitely.
It really is.
Oh. Well, this went on a lot longer than I think either of us anticipated.
Yep. But
to be sure,
I think it's fair to say that we've definitely got enough content now.
Yeah, and we'll just use all of it, and it'll be. Yeah. If anyone listens to this right to the end, and you hear this, then we love you. I'm sorry, there's not really anything. There's no like fancy giveaway or anything, but we do love you.
Yeah, we're sorry. We love you. We're idiots.
Hope you enjoyed.
Yes, and hopefully you'll be back next week and we haven't scared you away.
Yeah, true.
Or next time we do this. We're going
to try and do more of these. Maybe we'll get people to join in. Get some other people we can grill and interrogate.
Yeah. Special guests.
Yeah, special guests.
Yeah, it's going to be well cool. And yeah, welcome to FMUF, everyone who has been listening.
FMUF, yep.
Thank you.
I would like people to try and guess what FMUF stands for.
Yeah.
FMUF.
Any ideas? Drop them to us. We'd love to hear you. Shall we name drop our Twitter handles so people can do that if they want to?
What is my Twitter handle?
What is your Twitter handle, Charles?
I don't know. You do yours. I can't remember mine.
So mine is @goodandchaotic. I am usually about on my phone as always. So yeah, if you have an idea or you want to drop us a line, you can reach us through there. Yeah, we will.
Maybe we'll set up a Twitter for FMUF. We'll see.
Oh, that'd be well cool, actually.
I know.
We got to get on this, man.
Look how
we're falling
behind.
behind.
We're thinking of this during.
Yeah, man. We're great. Yeah, it's so professional. We know what we're doing.
Behind the scenes.
We're so sorry. Correct. Yeah. Don't look behind the curtain. Don't look at it. It's fine.
All right.
Yeah. And on that note.
Excellent.
Catch you next time.
On the flip.
Catch you on the flip, guys. This has been FMUF. Bye.
FMUF. Bye.